Hello everyone, welcome back to the consistent YouTuber. I will not stop making that joke until I'm actually consistent. And welcome to the Ghoti Guide, aka me just rambling on about fish stuff for however long this video will be, and you just listening in. I actually have music for this one. It comes courtesy from Club Penguin. Uh, you know, rest in peace up there. But let's go over it. Let's go over the stuff. Let's see what this found. Let's just start it off. Probably start off over these little people. They kind of go over what the deck mainly wants to do. We've got Paces, we've got Shift, and we've got Zep, the little kind of oddball one. Paces and Shift both summon themselves back during the standby phase of the next turn after they were banished. So, instead of doing yours, you summon back to your opponent's banished, back and forth, whatever. If they get stuck there, they are stuck there. Of course, you can place cards to get them out, say, for example, part of acquisitiveness. Where is it? I haven't even got this sorted now, because there it is. I forgot I was going to bring this up. Yeah, part of acquisitiveness, just some back in the deck, you get draw cards, so they can come up, and also other stuff to like send to grave, whatever you want really. But can play that, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. These all have effects to quick sync. It depends whether like what happened with them. These two, Shift and Paces, can quick sync the opponent's main phase only if it was special summoned that turn. So you can't set it up during the first turn and then let them special summon the next. You have to banish them and let them come back for their own effect nearly all the time and then let them quick sync. So there's some stipulations on that. And for Zep, it's on summon during opponent's turn. During your opponent's turn, if it's banished, it can summon itself back, and then if it's special, so you can sync. But that doesn't usually come up during your first turn. You probably can, but not too often. It shouldn't. And then each of these have their own individual effects to try and help them get banished and help continue on what you're doing. Zep is the worst one. Zep does not really come up because you can banish a card from your hand and target a fish monster, go banish it. Not many times you're in that dire of a situation. Sometimes you have this stuck, but if you have it all set up, all of them, you probably have Snowpiercer in rotation. We will talk about Snowpiercer in a second, or deeper steps. Yeah. Also, it can only summon itself during your opponent's turn if this card is banished, special it. So like, this used to be when it got translated, it's a quick effect, and if it was like that, that would have been amazing. Just whenever you want to bring it back, it quick syncs. Would have been really nice, but doesn't do that. Doesn't do that. Sadly, it's instantly. It's after it's banished. So you banish it, and then the next chain will come back. So, then Shift can banish itself to target fish monster you control, and it gains 500. It can come up sometimes, boosting some of the monsters like Arzkan, and Ion Pots and Snowpiercer up. I know 500 can let beat other stuff, or they go over the next hurdle. Sometimes Deep Beyond rather lets get the game. It's yeah, it comes up a lot, and also because it's engrave. When you minute off life of the fish, you can target that to make it gain 500. It goes up to 2k. That can also come up if it wanted to be over certain swipe monsters in defense. And also it's banished, so it comes back next standby phase. Shift is amazing. We love Shift. Paces can banish itself from the man's card you control to summon a fish from hand. Very useful. But I still kind of prefer Shift in some respects because this always gets south from grave, so you can sink it off and then get it out instead of Paces having to be on the field to hop itself out. So usually it's like the second one. Well, it's like usually part those shift and set up because you constantly get recursion of this with Snowpiercer summoned back, and then Pacers comes in to round it off. You want to get all three as soon as possible, but shift first usually, because shift is a bit more consistent to get back and stuff. But Pacers summoning from hand is really useful for stuff like if you need to summon Snowpiercer on the field and don't have to. It happens. It happens a lot, especially if you want to play a Cedar Camp build, which I don't know what you want to do, but there's some consideration to it after Cyberstorm Access, which I'll go over in a minute. Once I finish these cards on screen, I'll talk over deck profiles and whatever. Yeah, some big fish from hand. It happens. All of these are pretty nice. Zep is sometimes annoying, but level 4 we've got Zeep. If a fish is banished, you can special it. The next time by phase after it's banished, target Ghoti traps banished on your grave, reset it. Second effect can come up too oftenly because you don't usually play the traps too much. Like Fury is the best one. These two are right. But yeah, it's usually like you banish a fish off Deepest Depths and then summon it from your hand because it was banished. You get special. It's kind of like Gazelle off Signet Mining. If you discard a Salamangreat. Of course, I'm going to bring a Salamangreat reference in. Can't wait to Salad support, by the way. It better be out soon. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, it's lets you 2 plus 4 is going to come like I'm making a 6 synchro. Going to come massively. Didn't even know. I didn't even bring this up. They're level 2 tuners. You make even number synchros. You make 6, 8, 10 for fish. Because the other ones don't come up often, because you only have Ghoti main decks that are even number levels. Enoch is not oftenly played in my versions. Bit annoying to set up unless you want to get off Pacers. Summons back a level 4 fish, but it negates its effects, which is kind of annoying because you wish it was like you could chain. If it was possible to like just almost shift, chain it, go to chain it, summon Enoch summon back, and then it can synchro. That would be really nice. I would play it, but it negates it, so it becomes a bit annoying. But it's any fish, so can't complain too much. But you can banish the fish monster from hand or face up field, add Ghoti trap, so you get one on the 3 over here. But I don't usually play him. I'm waiting for a build that allows me to make more use of it. But for now, it doesn't come up too often. And Snowpiercer, I love Snowpiercer. He brings the deck together, and I see so many people playing it, and it's only one. But it's like I love how as you play on your opponent's first turn, especially. So it's really nice. It's great. It's was the best opponent for the deck during TSU format. That's the reason why I really want to find a good list. I don't have it built yet. I'm trying to find a good list at some point that allows you to take more like tier mill cards. So set up the opponent's first turn, banish them, bring it out. Because banish is up, you get make like nice card do opponent's first turn, pretty nice. But yeah, it's just constant recursion. Banish 2 fish monsters from hand and or field for grave for cost to special summon itself, so you're always getting these banished. During the main phase, so either main phase. If it's special, you get target face of field, banish it when it leaves the field, so you attach an effect on that card, which is really nice. So if you need something to be banished that you weren't picking off now, but you want it to be banished later, when it leaves the field, it's just comes up often. Also, you can attach it onto itself if you need it to be banished to add it back, because if this card is banished, you can banish a fish from grave for cost to add itself back to hand. It's Snowpiercer just all round. It's why the deck works after Dabble. It's really good. Snowpiercer is amazing. like I love playing 3 of this. People play 1. It's like I'm not the biggest fan of it. But to go next is Field Spell. Field Spell's amazing. It's not a Ghoti, but it's not a Ghoti Field Spell name, which is weird, but it's fine. Well, if you call a Fish Synchro, it can't be destroyed or banished by card effects. Protects itself against Deep Beyond. It keeps on the field, which is really nice. You can banish a fish, any fish monster from hand or grave to add a Ghoti monster from deck to hand. I'm just going to defer to that up a second. But yeah, banish any of that. So like you leaf fish, you can mill. That makes it so you can mill Paces if you want to mill Paces. Then banish it off Deeper Steps, grab Snobios. Or Zeb if you want to make anything after that. Just beautiful card. And then if it's engraved, you can target a fish. Or if a fish is normal specialed in the field while this is engraved, you can target a fish you control and banish it and add it back. Comes up a lot. Comes up massive. Like if you sub, opponent pops it, you just recur it back, constantly get it back and back and back and back. It came over my Spike game. The YCS, took this to the YCS. I'll show you the list. I took it to YCS. Didn't do amazingly. I did better than expected, and every game it was a really good back and forth, except from round 6. But we don't talk about that, do you, Revs? But yeah, this deck especially is, if you're thinking about about like Runic, especially, this is a amazing deck because they just set up your stuff. They just set this up, which is like, sadly I did lose against Spike Runic because all the Runic spells missed because I had more other cards that weren't Ghotis. But if you really cram down on the Ghotis, you can really get stuff going off your opponent's card effects. You can really punish them. It should be able to win that matchup pretty nice. So it has a reasonable Notoria. The Ghotis in themselves, just because how they're made, they're pretty reasonable into stuff like Notoria Runic, which is a good place to be. Really good place to be. You can add a lot more cards that benefit off banishing as well if you want to. Potentially the what is it? It's the worm archetype that they can like constantly recur itself. That's going to be really annoyed now. I'm really annoyed that it's not coming to my head. Oh, whatever. You can also play Thunders. You can talk about that. It's Thunders. If Colossus is back, that'd be funny. But yeah, Deeper Steps is amazing. Play like 3 of this in Terraforming. Both stacks. So you can play it in like super heavy, you can still play this because even if it's popped, you can put it back in hand. So it's not you're gonna keep a spell trap out of the grave. So not too bad, not too shabby. I'm going on to traps now. Start with the worst one. Cosmos. Cosmos isn't great. Yeah, this can't be talking about this turn. Can come up, but like playing card just for that, it's like, yeah, probably use it at the start. 4+ effect is pretty nice. Can be negated, but yeah, again, it's like you're not gaining off hard advantage here. And an 8+ summoning fish from this, if you could set up 8+ consistently, it's very nice. But if you're at 8+, you probably ran through most of your stuff in the X deck, so it probably won't come up. So Ghoti Cosmos doesn't come up that much, but it does look really nice. I can say about all the Ghoti cards, they just look nice. Like a little heart. Oh, shift. Oh, yeah, but all I love the little fish. Chain banishes target face up fish you control to summon a Ghoti monster that's banished in your hand, deck, or grave with different name from original banish to activate it, but banish it when it leaves the field. It can happen if you need to grab one of these. I've played before. I've tinkered around with it. Don't play it in too many lists really, but if Enoch was better, this card would be great. And then Fury, this card does come up, like I do play it. So I got fish you control and fish your opponent, and once your opponent controls, banish both to the next standby phase. And then you got like a little attack boost. It fish is best in field while any card is banished. You have to banish it from your grave to, or face a field spell to make stuff gain. It's like you can let be over stuff sometimes. Most of the things, it's like you're picking off stuff. If you haven't got a best hand, you start picking off some things. Each turn you just get in constant removal. It's really nice. Yeah, that's all the main deck stuff. Same about ratios. Like 3 don't play, 1 searchable, don't want too oftenly. Because you have other extenders that also kind of serve its purpose. 2 or 3, if you want to interact with your opponent's turn, you pay 3. 2 is like the usual amount. 2 and 2. But with these, usually these are 2s. But I wouldn't be annoyed bumping up numbers. Like, these bump up numbers, the thing is, like, sometimes they get clogged in hands. If you open 2, it's like, ugh. One of them is going to get stranded. One's going to get lost in sea, and it's going to suck. Oh, lost in space. Going on to extra deck, we start with Yonpos. This card is amazing. Generic, level 6 Synchro. Synchro bans level 6 a lot of fish from deck. That is either Zep, summon back, make it 8. Set up for next turn, or Spanish Snowpios to add it back to hand. Amazing already. Then if it's sent to grave as so target a fish, any fish once in grave, banish it, then add a fish with equal or level of deck to hand. Just amazing round. Set up your turn 3. Add a Snowpios to get more interaction if you didn't do it from before. It's because it's level 6 itself. It's getting all of the Ghoti monsters. I have no complaints. 0 complaints of boss. Boss is constantly going into it. It's the first thing you usually go into. You're aiming to get into this. There's a reason why people play the Supe package, which, let's be honest, don't massively enjoy. But because like, my cards at hand, it's like definitely better things you could possibly be doing. But I understand that because you want to go to Harry boss. Next we got Ozcan. Ozcan is like a lot of your interruptions. Generic again. If this is synchroed, you can target a fish you control and a card your opponent controls, and you can't banish them. And if this is banished, you banish a fish from grave for cost, summon it back. So you constantly recurring this. You get a lot of damage out of this because like 1, 2, you can snoop opponent's next turn, like your next turn, sync off of it, Snowpios, banish. It's like banish 2, summon it out. As can't banish, summon itself out again. You have shift paces set up. You get like chunk of damage at their face, constantly recurring 2/7 body. It's just like, and it's constantly like, yeah, it's there. It's always going to be around. Yeah, you pay 2 of this. Pay 2 of this. Pay 2 of this. Usually in the extra deck because we want to go into them multiple times. This comes up a lot being a 2. Gurgler, I hate Gurgler. I don't like Gurgler. Why was this given a secret? What was this given a secret over like Ozcan? I don't get it. Fish tuner plus 1+ non-tuner monsters, so already not amazing. Start damage step, banish opponent's monster, banish that opponent's monster. It's like, suppose during your opponent's standby phase, you can banish cards and all monsters in the graveyard. You can special them, but banish them later. Like, what is happening here? Usually you're going to have them banished. They're going to summon themselves back anyways. Why do I need you to summon them back? I was going to be sat there and get Lanceired. It's just a weird card. At some point it may come up. The banish effect, I'm keep it in your mind always when you're playing this deck, like deck building. If there's ever a format that where you need that kind of effect, then it's like, yeah, play it. But right now, for a long time, I don't think you'll see play. I don't play. Then we go on to the main one. This is why you play the deck. This is your big thing. The serpent is seen in space to banish all from the field. The Ghoti of the Deep Beyond. Synchro 10, 1 plus fish tuners plus one or more non-tuna monsters. I cannot tell you how much that comes up. I cannot overstate it. Because, like, if you have, what was it, Zep, well, the combination of 2 Ghotis plus Snopios, trying to interact with one, you chain the other, you still make Deep Beyond. You're still making Deep Beyond. It's so good. On summon, banish the board, not once per turn. You can make 2 of these. Especially with XL Synchro now, you can make 2 of these. And it brings itself back. Not once per turn. And it usually becomes massive. It's, like a lot of time, because XL Synchro now, I'll go over it now. You hop here it. You can set up doing opponent's first turn when you go in second. If you really got a really good hand, like was it Snowpiercer, Zep, another fish in hand, and hop here, it's 4-card combo. It's like it's not coming up too often. Or if Tear Shoes was back, it was just Snowpiercer, hop here, because the other 2 are probably going to get milled. Which is really nice. That's, yeah, people hate on Tear Shoes format this, but I enjoyed it just because of the stack. But because they banished the cost, I dodged all the shufflers. It was really nice. Those shufflers except from Ion Boss, but they put it. I target itself. They put it back. It's like thanks. I'm going on a tangent again. Deep Beyond is just amazing. Come back, just kill. Like wait, yes, a 30-minute grind game against like a fully sub. Round 2 I went again for the Noble by, what, yada yada. Set board, I was constantly picking through. It was 30 minutes slog back and forth. And to some point, I was like, that's the opening. Bang, that's the opening. Went in and banished the board, summoned it back. It was 85, just killed them. I was like down on life point. I was just, at one point, I was like, back, dead. I was like, that's the thing with this deck. You can just sit there, find an opening, kill them. It really rewards noticing the game state. This deck. Oh, of course, like I play the deck, I love the deck. I'll constantly hype up how smart and big brain it is, but it's like you have to notice what's going on. Because you're playing a rogue deck. I would say it's even less than rogue usually. You're playing a weird deck that people don't understand. You gotta leverage every fact you can get. And just take the 2-hour and move on to the next person who doesn't know again. But yeah, love Deep Beyond. It's usually like 2. Don't touch Gurglem. Gurglem can move over there. Just 2 of all of these. Moving on to things up in sideboard. These are non-Ghoti cards that also usually can come up. Or tell if they usually do. Lifeless Leaf is a 3 of. On summon, send any fish and get graveyard, just normal this, send shift. Put on boss, banish Zep. If you just need a banish, just sit there, it's fine. Banish it from grave, take 3 fish, 7 them back, pretty nice. Pretty handy. Get a free draw, it's nice. You can also normal this, send Nimble Angler, start doing spite stuff. So I did in the Melfi version. Debatable if you play like a lot more Nimbles in this, because you can go to sprint, you can send another Angler, because Angler does not want to return. You can send 2 fish, you get to shuffle them back with, you send like Sunfish, you play Sunfish, you shuffle them back off Leaf Fish, you get a draw. Pretty good. Just so you can play him, you just play for him usually. There hasn't been a list I've played that's like doesn't play 3 of it. Bear Tunable Princess grabs Leaf Fish, or if you need one of these, you can grab those as well. Like 1 or 2 of, it's searchable. Off all of these are searchable off Ion Pods if you need them. Abyss Shark, not in every build. If you're playing like a heavy, like war control, like you're playing fish or like water, you're playing this. Just like sum itself out, you grab a Silent Angler, Mini Orca, or Zeep, which usually don't grab Zeep, it's usually one of these. You can make stuff level 3 or 4. You go into Kraken normally, like setting the goes in. It's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, just locked into waters. And also, if you swing with the Kraken, it's like you do a lot more damage. Yeah. It's just simple as that, really. Mini Orca, newer card, TCG exclusive. Water ones activate, quick effect, special summon itself, and you get to like that. Like if you add it, you activate one of these, summon itself back, then you have chain into Mini Orca. Then the on-field effect comes up. It's like banish fish, see summon. It was a banish a fish. Type face of card on the field negates effects. It's just if you need to negate certain random things, you just banish a paces and set it up the next turn, and also get stuff negated. It's like, sure, I'll take it. I think it kind of fills the other void where it's a free summon as well. Depends you when you need to free summon. That's what you think, because this can be changed. This can be like blocked. It's like Titan, because you need to chain to it, but it's not a trigger. It's just has to happen straight afterwards. So if they activate anything response, it's like, oh, I lost my timing to activate it. Mermaid Shark, don't usually play this. Just potential if you really want to grab a fish shark, you can play it. Make like a Abyss Keeper afterwards, summons like a Leaf Fish in hand to do stuff, but it's like, yeah. You can if you want. I don't own it, so I haven't done it. Angler went over. Baseball Planter, this comes up. This is when I was playing Fish. Fish Ishizu. It's like a ton of millers and whatever. When Ishizu was at 3, this was amazing. Summon stuff back. Oh, it was a mill. Some water. It's like if you mill one of these, it's like yeah, summon up stuff back. It's just really good. A lot of, if you want a level 2, this is the one you're getting. It's like can come up, and if you're playing like a Spite Ghoti version, if you're really heavy on the Ghoties, you can play Fistball Planter. It won't do you too badly. Exceed for more, you can grab this off Abyss Shark. If you go into Kraken, you can. It's like you have to have a lot of setup. It's like to level 4 fish. It's like this isn't level 4. It's level 5. It makes it level 4, so it's like it doesn't. I don't play it. I'm just bring it up randomly, just for like fish Xies stuff, I guess. Cedar Camp, this is the big one. Would love to play it more, but it's difficult. It's really difficult. Targeting texture's pretty nice, but it's like you have an Ash. It's like I've just got like massive because the investment I had to summon it doesn't have a summoning condition itself, and then also the discard I had for it. So I don't know. I want to play it more, but yeah, it's just hard. Beastkeeper, usually play one of this. It's if in a pinch, summon the stuff from hand, target first, you control, banish it, and the card your opponent controls. It's like a slower Arscan, but it's like each turn you have to do it. It's... Can't complain. Can't complain at all. Got to make gigantic off this if you need to. And well, you also usually play one of this because it's less generic. You can make it off because these are waters. So make this. If they're playing badly, you get a board, and then also you make 2 attacks. You do piercing battle damage, poke in. There's no crooks can take me alive. And if it's popped, not once per turn, just summon, banish another fish. Not fish. Banish another water in your grave, special it back. Just keep it sitting on the field. It's gonna be there. If you need something to stick on the field, if you need to stick there, and you've got enough water in the grave to facilitate it, it's gonna be there. But it comes to tuna, so don't forget that, because don't sync over it. After being summoned, unless you're using it with like Fishborg or a Nimble, or like a Spite. Don't do it. No, it's a remember it's a tuna because it's like. But yeah, that's about it for most fish stuff I can go over. Harpier Squadron also comes up, but it's not fish itself, so I'll talk about it in a second. Now we'll go into the decks. Let's go over this one first. This is the one I brought to London. This is Spite Ghoti Melfi. Now the Melfi card's really good. People know. I'm playing a heavier package. Like Wally go to Catty Puppy, Puppy go to whatever. Debating about like Cantosa, so brick, it's not great. You can play Undaunted Bumpkin Beast as a free level 2 you can summon back. That has I've seen success with that, but I didn't have enough room, realistically. It's reasonably big package, 7 cards. Catty then bounces, you add Penny, then you make a 8, you go into XL Synchro, you summon back level 2, you sync off with XL and whatever fish you summon back to make a second Deep Beyond. Or the first Deep Beyond, depending on which one. Or go into one of the 10s. Because Chengyin's amazing. I can't understate Chengyin and constantly getting banishes because you're banishing all the time with Snowpiercer and Shift doing itself. Or everything, just banishing. So like, Chengyin's probably going to be alive every single day. Or trying to remove it, it's like, yeah. Just banish card and set your fish, sure. Why don't you? Hop here, you can hit, same before, Snowpiercer, go into whatever 8, you go to Arscan, then you zap, resolve, and then it will sync into 10 and go into Deep Beyond. Pretty good. Not much else to go over. Yeah, everyone knows the sprites. This combo is like just Leafish, Angler, Gigantic, 2, Forest, Wally. That's the board. Yeah, negate. Get some 8 board wipe. Complaints from me. It's pretty standard. Smashes, pretty nice. Just banish a fish you want to recur. To take our monster. You can definitely adapt on this list. Like, Nib was really nice. It's like, go over the matchups from London. It was one sort of loss. It's like game 1 lose, game 2 sub double Deep Beyond. So it was like pretty good. 3 had Nib in hand, but they went into Baron, which is like kind of sucked. But you know, it happens sometimes. And then like they had tactics, like enter Nib to get out the Baron negate, and it was like tactics. I was like, okay, now I've just lost I lost the reason why I did this, because I lost my starter. I was like, cool. Whatever. 2 was the Infernoble. Game 1 set up double Deep Beyond. Game 2 just back and forth until I was finally opening and killed. Round 3 was Math Mech. Wiped that pretty quickly. 1 had the Snowpiercer line. Game 2, I opened Shifter. I felt really bad. Like, yeah, grab seconds, like Shifter. It's cool. So then activate it. It was like small world. Do it. I was like, where's Shifter? Nice. Yeah. Probably should have stand by it, faced it, but never punished. Let's take it from there. Round 4 was Spite Runic. That I did lose 1-2. What was it? Game 1 I lost, game 2 I set up TP on stuff. It's like, usually if you set up, you winning. People don't know the choke points that much, because usually they're able to set up at least 1 Deep Beyond. 3 we went into time, Red Resonator, and didn't hit anything off the runic spells the entire time. It was like first runic spell, it was like Gamma, Jet. It's like nice. Second runic spell was like red. It was like red, terraforming, double cross. I was like, great, beautiful. Just the banishes I wanted. And 5 is another math mech. Math mech basically did the same thing as just did the same thing as round 3. That matchup was math mech for me is feels pretty free, but it opened well, so I don't know. I didn't open as well. Like they set the board turn 1, but I was able to constantly get around it. It was just like the spice were helpful. And there was like constant DPS loop, bomb. So again, sit there, find the opening, exploit the opening. Have some monsters or hit a thing they need that need to be engraved. Just hit it with the Azcan, or if they've got a good thing to like a reasonable board, take some advantage. Deep Beyond, like a +7 off Deep Beyond. It was like. And then round 6, we don't talk about round 6. Branded didn't open well. It was bad. You know what you did, Revs. I can't believe it. Yeah, who's it's Revs. Really nice guy, amazing. Really encouraging. So not the wisest in general. It's like now I made content with like Daphnes and stuff. My name is I just like sign and put my name on the mats. It feels really weird to be just like sat there. It's like why am I got this little thing there? And it's like Nim. It's like I was Nim for ages. Like I've it's like why am I there? It's like what am I doing here? It's like I feel like I need to redeem myself in that. And it's like yeah, I probably should just make content and actually burn myself on there, not just randomly get a win at locals with worms and take a place accidentally. Yeah. Everything felt solid than this, but definitely could update it later on. This is it's like debatable list. Change the hand trap lineup, change everything. It's like just use your lineup like this. Goes into nuts, especially under like Kraken. These topologics are amazing. Just more board wipes. They go back row, take the front row. Just like bring it back to standby phase. Just bring back a Ghoti, just trigger it and then put it back in the banished. Just sit as like I don't need it this turn, but next turn I might. So just take that board, may as well do it in between. Just IP it into them. That is really good. These cards are really good, but you can't do under here. So make sure you have these out of the way before you do these. But usually these situations are different, so you got redundancy. Yeah. This is the one to start off with. Tinker with this a lot. Express Cats is funny. All these cards are funny. Just if you want to build, usually start with this one if you really want to play Ghoti. If you want to play Coelacanth build, there's other builds online. I know Double Pygia. I don't think the video's come out yet. Maybe it was recording, it probably has. But Ghoti list, they're playing more of a Coelacanth build. So if you want to play a Coelacanth build, you can play probably look over their video. I'll probably when it comes out, I'll probably go over it and talk about it on Twitter. If you want to follow there, you can. It's nothing much happens. I just there for people. And then we have this is post Zach. This is the super heavy list. This one that it's convincing me to put in Coelacanth because it gives you the scales too. Like you're able to. Why not just take it? But yeah. It's 8 and 1. So it's the other way around for some. I remember that now. Yeah, if you want a quick access, it's like obviously just grab Soul Claw, summon it, go straight into Pass, or you do like full setup. You grab like Savage, good for Cupid Pitch. You grab Hop here. You make some quick things like you can Ruddy Rose, take out the entire graveyard. You just have so many monsters. You can Deep Beyond your own turn. Because you won't use it. You won't get its synchro effect because during your opponent's turn. but you will get like a massive monster he just kills. So may as well. Let's have our own boss. Vegetable planted in here. Wow, just grab some mills. It's just I'm gonna be building off this a lot. I wish Bestial was more in the meta because like Jerusalem, like Hopper, Jerusalem, or like syncing off of Jerusalem with like two random Ghoti on field. You just slam down Jerusalem. They get some banishes, get some center graveyards, set up a ton of stuff. It's so good. The Bestials are amazing in this deck. They were amazing tier sheets format. It was like this in tier sheets. It was like shifters, Bestials, ton of Ghoti cards. It was so good. I want so much against that. Pretty good. I had a pretty good match against here. So again, Sidon like Spy. This is 600, so you can send a level 8, so you can search up Cupid Pitch if you feel like your opponent's especially weak to Plasma. You just slam it down. The point is pretty good. It's one of. But yeah, these are kind of lists you'd kind of expect. I'm going to put all the deck list in the description. I'll make sure to well, yeah. So if you want to have a look at them, do that. In the comments, if you want to ask about some cards, text not playing, or haven't gone over, please there chat about it. Message me, like DM me on like Twitter, message me, whatever. I'm usually around, so if you want me to build you a certain deck, Boring Fist, like you want to just give you a challenge, like randomly, like put whatever bad deck with this other bad deck. Like I've put them with Tri Brigade before. I can do anything. Don't ask about that one. That one was wacky, to say the least. Yeah, it's not too much more to go over. Hope this was useful to some person out there. I hope like my 40 something minutes of rambling was encouraging to someone to us. If you want more, ask or hit something. I don't know. I'll make video at some point. I'm thinking about doing shorts as well, because it's much easier for me to make. So I might just try and make shorts. If you've got any ideas for that, that'll be greatly appreciated. Further ado, I'll see you later. Share video. The Ghoti sweep for real. Bye bye.